But just for sort of having that extra 5 or so seconds to work with us, it looks like we are going to be getting ourselves live now. The pause comes to an end, and look at the utility as well for Stewin. They have a lot of it.
Yeah, they've stacked 2 people with utility, and they're just going to head right towards that A site already, just in Palace, hiding out still. But it might be a good read here from GODZ1337, as they have dedicated 4 players towards that site. Let's see how this one works out. Flashes start coming through. The first round has commenced. The first push does come through. Oh my word, they come huge straight away. Headshots landing in the favor of GODZ1337. It's a 1 versus 3 already, and that's the first round going to the hands of Gods. That was fairly quick, wasn't it?
That was brutal. Holy. I mean, Zozo ended up just, he walks into sight and he's just, well, I've got no teammates left. He manages to pick up a couple with the clock, but it's Stewin who will fall early on, and they're going to go for the deagle by this time. Quite a bit of utility for them once again, as they'll try and control a bit of mid-control early on, although not really wanting to commit to it. These rifles from Gods will surely pluck them away unless they can hit some stellar shots with the deagles, but, I mean, it's Gods. They'll be feeling pretty fly after that previous round. 3 M4s, a FAMAS, an MP9. Plenty to work with. There's Kakanito. Tries to do a bit of damage through that smoke in mid, but unfortunately, it's actually going to end up pretty even. But him and Zozo will both take about half damage. And Stewin Montenegro, they are going to now backtrack their way towards that A site.
Yeah, they've slowed down the pace completely. They're just going to rotate through that T side and slowly head towards A. And Gods haven't quite read it just yet. They don't really have any information available to them. And yeah, they're just waiting behind, not playing anything aggressive, not risking anything, because they know they've got the better economical advantage from that first round. But the start of this push has commenced now. Brax from a different position from Connector connects with a kill, and it's a 2-for-2 trade. This is huge for Stewin. They're managing to get onto the site, and the deagle shots are connecting. The bomb surely will be able to go down soon, and Dan is left all by himself. Picks up that M4. It's time for you to clutch. Gets that first headshot, and Stewin, they're going to be happy with this one, even if they lose it, but it's the win they want. Dan, the 1 versus 1 against Augie. Now,
oh, that nade.
Oh, that nade is probably going to kill him. Yes, it does, Kobe! And Dan will clutch that up in the end. But my, Stewin with a solid push there onto that A site.
Very much so. I mean, 4 kills, a bomb plant. Not bad for a 4-spy round. That's given them quite a bit of cash to work with, but they're not really going to be able to go for the full buy here. I mean, they could go for a force if they wanted to try and punish the CT economy. They're going to go for a few pistols. I respect that. Not going to go all in. They'll buy up a little bit with the extra cash they've got and leave themselves enough for that next buy, just to try and impact this economy once more. And Kakanito taken down very early by the deagle of Zozo, which is going to be able to actually find a second as well. And 2 players already falling for Gods. It's even trades, but it's Augie with that M4 in his hand. No, the nade actually hits him, and Danny will be able to spray through, finish him off. Oh, Vale. Again, a trade. Gods are not able to put this into a comfortable situation. This is going to bode very well for Stewin going forwards. Getting all of these frags, keeping this Gods economy at a knife's edge. Vale just holds towards top mid and is hoping somebody's going to come his way.
Yeah, it's 1 minute remaining on the clock. That action really commenced very, very early in that round, and I guess that this grouped push onto that A site really worked out for them. But now they've turned their attention towards B, and it's Hevik holding it from that bench area. It's going to be quite difficult to take. No util available for them. It's just high with the smoke. So it's vital to get that rotate in soon enough. And Heviks at least get 1 frag out of this if they want to get the 3-0 start to this. Stewin start pushing in. Zozo connects with that first shot. And there you go. Bomb is going to get planted surely. And high on the rotate. Let's see if he spots anybody out. Bomb has been planted. Peeks the corner, gets 1. 1 is remaining, does not connect with it, and Stewin with a deagle buy get the first round of this map.
That is not a good amount of fun for the God side. I mean, Stewin picking up just the pistol around there. It's once again just so much damage being done, and this time they do come away with the round, and they'll go into the next round with plenty and plenty of cash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gotta give it to Stewin. They've had two very, very solid Deagle rounds, and as you can see, the economy of Gods is totally annihilated. So yeah, Stewin now start to look comfortable. They surely could get a couple of rounds here if they play this correctly. And yeah, we've gone into a little bit of a pause, and perhaps it's Gods just figuring out what they could do better to tear this full buy here of Stewin.
I think it's actually a technical, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
it's a technical pause, which is nicely timed.
Yeah,
not accusing anything, but certainly Gods. I mean, that second round they picked up, it was close. It came down to a 1v2. They just about managed to close it out. This time it goes down to 1v2 again, and Zozo is there to pick up the final missing piece for Stewin. And they're going to have themselves a very, very nice buy going into this next round. The 4 AK-47s and M4 saved across as we are going to be getting back live.
Well, back in it again. Stewin. Looks like they're dedicating a lot of players towards B early on. And just Smokes will just not allow Valet to look through that mid. Does have an AK available. Oh, Killer does go a little bit too aggressive. Gets punished for it. And looks like they're going to start pushing onto that B site. Braxton with that first pick of the site. Valet gets another. And that should be an easy win here from Stewin. Just Hevix and High all by themselves, ready to go for the retake.
Yeah, just Hevix too high. I mean, not really much for them to do here. A couple of Deagles is all they have, and sets of armor made us go for the save here. Try and pluck off a couple players who approach, but the Manhut not going to allow Hevix to save. Just too high, all that remains, and Deagle in hand, armor on his back. It's going to be Stewin putting a second on the board and tying this game up early on.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really compare the two Deagle rounds that we saw Stewin get away with. Gods really did not have the impact that Stewin was able to bring out. But yeah, Stewin, with that better firepower, managed to pick that one up. 2-2, equalizing the rounds. And yeah, Gods one more time in a very difficult economical situation. Ooh, it looks like they're stacking towards apartments right there. It could be another B push. Will they expect it? I'm not really sure. That's gonna probably be a no. It's just Danny all by himself trying with that USPS to do anything possible. Gets one though. It's a 1-for-1 trade, and the rotates do come in right now. Bomb has been planted. And it's just 4 members with USPs at hand trying to get onto that site. It is a tough ask, but maybe they could get some frags for their troubles. Now, Kakanito from short. Is he able to find an alternative angle onto this? It is Zozo picking up the first thing. Yeah, okay, that's it. Gods' push was never really going to succeed at that point, and Kakanito just going to fall back. And yeah, not sure. He doesn't have any Kevlar on. So, really interesting that he just didn't go for it, try and get a frag. But there we have Stewin. Their first lead here for this map.
And hopefully we'll certainly be hoping they can get forwards. It's into the next round. They're going to have themselves up against the rifles, though.
Yeah,
See
it's a
if
full
GODZ
buy
can try
versus
and
full
fight
buy.
back.
It's another B push here. It is Danny getting the first pick here. Stewin not able to pick up the first kills of this round. And GODZ, okay, they've read it. They've done it too many times. One too many times here. 2 rounds in a row into B. It is the 3rd round that will get interrupted, and GODZ with a fairly clean round will be able to pick this one up. It's just Neman Hart all by himself now. He's going to get trapped with the molly, forced to get up that ladder. And he'll surely die. It's a clean round here from GODZ1337.
Just looking at that spray down from Pryor. That was disgusted in towards the market. Good hold, though, this time towards the B site. And it's all tied up. Weapons out for both teams once again. Stewin try and get themselves back into the lead as it's aggression up top mid, actually. Killer is trying to find kills, and he's certainly got on one. Oggy is able to find one of his own in return, but it's even trades across the field, and with control sort of switching back and forth, their mid is still a sort of neutral territory. Neither team has been able to get control. Kakanito in towards to connect to the closest player to try and hold that for the GODZ side, but Stewin the backed away. I'm going to go recover the bomb. And re-approach this round. As Too High is going to push in towards the Palace, and this could be the make or break for this round for GODZ. If he finds his kill, it's going to be a huge win for them, but Vale secures them. That's the A site with a bit of an opening in it now. Luckily, Kakanito is able to rotate over quickly enough just to deny Vale any sort of push out. And Stewin, their players are very spread across this map. Braxy coming in from the underground position. Danny trying to have a poke in towards mid. Braxton taken down very quickly from Kakanito. It's just a 2v2. A play working in towards the A site, though. That is Vale. And we're now the only player left for Stewin. A 1 versus 2 to try and pick this one up. The bomb is now in CT control. 25 seconds on the clock, but Danny will be able to close it down. Discovers that sneaky little player and secures GODZ a 4th as they pull themselves back into the game. They've started recovering themselves after those awkward eco or anti-ecos earlier on.
Yeah, quite a chaotic round there, but it's GODZ that came up on top in the end. It was that skirmish in the end that got them that win, but this time they might decide to play a little bit more safe, a little bit more composed, and slow things down a little bit, control the tempo of this game. The RCTs, after all, and getting most rounds here on Mirage is probably the optimal choice for them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, either side you want to get as many rounds as you can. But certainly the CT side, you need to be picking up a decent chunk of rounds. But Namanhat, a quick double in towards mid, is going to put that on pause for the GODZ. Killer's left on 10 HP as well, so Stewin, they have a huge chance to tie this one back up.
Well, it is a 3 for 5 right now. Killer is at 10 HP. This is a difficult defense here. It's all about reading the right rotates and playing the right position. If they manage to get all 3 players onto one site, they could potentially stop a push here from Stewin, but that's not going to happen. It's Too High all by himself. An impending push coming in from the terrace. Little does he know, they're just right there. Will he spray down? Guess one. Goes for the spray. Does not connect with the second. He did do some damage, though, and now it's a free A push here from Stewin. And GODZ are just going to stick back in apartments and save their weapons.
Yeah, clearing out Too High there pretty quickly. I mean, just a 1-kill foul. Not really the kills needed for GODZ to try and attempt this one. I mean, if he'd been able to find 2, probably 3 would have been needed. He probably would have had to lock down that A ramp and stay alive in that position to really give GODZ a very nice chance at taking this one, as Killer with that 10 HP is not really fighting effectively. But Stewin, they're going to hunt Namanhat. Going to be hunting, and he's heard the scope, looking for the kills. Is he going to walk into the crosshair? He does, but he's still able to find the shot. Hevix can't take him down, and Namanhat's going to take them both out of action. 4 kills for him in the round. And Stewin, they find 4 on the board. A pause to come through.
Yeah, so that save really does hurt Gods right there. So you see a couple of people that have most of the money. There's Kakanito and Dan that's stockpiled quite a fair bit, but the rest are just down to 1 point something K, and it just really hurts them right now. And Stewin really needed that to stay in control of the rounds they've been picking up, because even the rounds that Gods managed to collect, Stewin is always fighting for every chance, and they've been picking up a lot of kills, a lot of rounds, and when they haven't been getting rounds, they've been getting most of the kills. So, yeah, Stewin are doing a very solid job here on the T side so far, and Gods really need to up their game if they wanna stay up to track with what Stewin are doing right now.
I mean, I've just looked to the bottom left of my screen and seen a double up setup here.
Oh my word! All right. Okay. They're gonna have to really make these work.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of pressure on Hevix and Kakanito to pick up these kills with the AWPs. We'll see what they can do as Kakanito will be heading towards that B site. It looks like Hevix will be playing towards the ticket booth over on A. And, well, Oggy, tech down early on. That's certainly a decent opening. Not the kill, but damage found, and maybe Kakanito can find a little bit more. Is it going to be the jumping double from Kakanito? Hopefully not, but he'll certainly be hoping for a couple. Yeah, he'll certainly be hoping for a couple kills going his way if they do push. As Dan set up with the Deagle. He has been spotted out, but Zozo's going to get an opening kill, pushed in towards the window, and this leaves the B site in a difficult position. Kakanito's actually going to save his teammate. Oggy will trade it out, and Hevix with the AWP towards A. They've been able to find a couple kills, but it's still only a 3-on-3 and pretty even HP across the board. It's actually completely even. 212 HP either way of the equation. As Nemanja is in a very cheeky little position here in towards connector. He's done 9 rotations, or easy rotations at least, for that God side, as the rest of his team will start pushing in towards B. Danny has now salvaged that up and is, well, gone down. He was the last defender towards B. Manya's going to try and just lock down any chance that the Gods have here and should be able to find his kill on towards Too High. Denies him saving the weapon, as it leaves it just up towards Hevix.
That was pretty intelligent by him there, Nemanja, just standing in front of the weapon. He knew that all the weapons had fallen along B, so the people didn't buy, because he saw that there were some people with AWP, some people with Deagle. So I imagine he guessed that they'd want to pick up a weapon for that next round. So he just sticked around in front of the AK-47, just camped it there, and it worked out for him. Pick there for him, and it's Hevix now. It's trying to save that AWP for that next round. And, yeah, that double AWP play didn't really work out for them, did it?
No, I mean, it was able to pick up a couple kills, but the Deagles, I think, struggled to try and follow up, because Hevix and Kakanito both picked up one apiece, but that B site just got forced back so far, and it was difficult for them to try and maintain site. You could see that they were both, like, tucked in towards the back of the site. It's cowering, but Hevix, a nice shot. Zozo's going to try and trade it out, as Hevix with that single AWP does give the Gods side a little bit of an opening. No weapon to be salvaged for the time being for Gods, as it's down towards ramp. These 4 USPs will have to bide their time before they can try and get towards that weapon.
Yeah, now there's a little bit of a peekaboo going on here. Valet, just picks up in time and won't really collect that kill. And yeah, a slow approach here. They know they don't really have to push too much. They also know that there's an AWP in the hands of Hevix, so they don't want to do anything dangerous. They're also holding on to most of their util. A little bit of aggressiveness at the beginning costed Oggy's life, so this time they're just trying to play it well. But hey, look at that stack on A. GODZ has dedicated 4 players there, and this might cost them. Right here now, Too High with that first frag. Smoke coming in. The observer's just making us know where that's going to fall. Oh, that HE grenade does damage into Nemanja, and he's falling down to half now. The push comes through. 2 Urkies versus USPs and a couple of rifles that got picked up. And Zoho gets one. Nemanja with another, but that's not going to be enough, as GODZ is the one to pick that one up in an eco round. So
Get
they
me
might not have
out.
managed
This
to get that 2 AWPs work, but they managed to make it work with 1 AWP. Explain that.
Oh, the opening pick. The pick difference is the main reason, I think. Oggy going down very early on. It was always GODZ in that 5-on-4, and as they try and push forwards, there's just too many players to deal with. And Hevix has played that very smart with the AWP. Didn't overcommit to fights, was just peeking around the back of that smoke, trying to pick off players. He got himself a couple. But the rest of his team did stand up to the task. They, I think, Too High got one in the Palace. Picked up an AK there and sort of rolled with the round from there. It was very nice work, though. 5-5, and Stewin get themselves another buy through, but this time only a couple of Leos, a couple of AKs, and that AWP for Oggy. Vale actually doesn't have armor. He has $800 to buy up some Kevlar, which I hope he does.
Looks like he won't.
Oh dear.
I mean, they're still in spawn. Potentially he could, but
Well,
Stewin has managed to pick up 2 rounds in a row, and they haven't really managed to pick up enough of an economical advantage. So they are on a knife's edge right now. If they lose this one, they'll also be in a very difficult situation. So good on GODZ for keeping up the aggression, even though they were losing a couple of rounds there. And this map is really close so far, 5-5. It's just an inch for an inch. They're just grabbing one round after the other, just one team at a time. So, they're having a good share of the rounds right now, and it's a full buy versus full buy, finally. So let's see how this one works out.
Yeah, as you say, neither team's been able to find an advantage, but GODZ, they're going to be receiving a hit towards this A site. The utility comes raining on down, and Hevix is going to be there with the AWP to find the opening. Kakanito is going to try and rotate into support, but Too High. He can only manage one in the site. Stewin, they've been able to get control of that bomb site, but a 3-on-4 not favouring them. They will get the bomb down. And now the pressure is on that GODZ side to try and get themselves back in. The nade's doing a little bit of damage. Kakanito takes a bit of a hit, but these Stewin players have got Vale on the AWP. Still no armor for him. And with his teammates falling, he's going to be left in a situation where he's going to have to pick up kills here. He's over towards the firebox, can't hit the no-scope. Killer will take him down. And with his teammate gone, it is GODZ who find themselves a 6th. They post the lead back on their side of the equation as this defuse will come through.
Yeah, it's been a few rounds since GODZ has been able to be the team ahead. It's been a couple, maybe 3. But they've done it finally. Once again, perhaps now they can start pulling away from Stewin. I did mention earlier that Stewin's economy was on a knife's edge. Well, they've gone into recession. They can't really buy up now. And, yeah, full buy from GODZ, and it should be a fairly easy round.
Yeah, I mean, but we saw early on in the half how GODZ struggled against rounds like this. I mean, it was a set of 5 Deagles that won out the first for Stewin, but a nice opening for Killer. Does just remove that threat from the apartments. And gives the GODZ side a bit more security in this one.
You can see how much confidence they put on Killer to perform on that AWP. Like, for example, that round where they just put 2 AWPs in the hands of 2 players and the rest just couldn't buy up. So they've got a lot of confidence in him to deliver on that B site. And to be honest, he hasn't lacked in performance at all. He's been getting kills every single round. And yeah, he's an absolute beast. Now, looks like it's going to be a push onto mid. Connector is a choice of rotate, but no, that's going to be a quick annihilation there. A little bit of a massacre going on in that connector, but it's GODZ coming out victorious. A cleanless round for them.
Well, that was an absolute bloodbath. No other word for it, really. Slaughtering connector. It is going to be GODZ picking up the 7th, and they deal with that very nicely, and Kakanito just misses the short boost. It's not the easiest to do. I'll let it slide. As actually, it was interesting because GODZ, they're playing 2 AWPs initially towards connect or towards mid here. Hevix with one towards window and Kakanito towards connect. It's actually going to find the opening through the smoke onto Brax & Co. And well, that's not what Stewin wanted to start this round off with.
Yeah, so there were a few smokes in the mid there helping Stewin push forward and get a little bit of control. But it did bite them in the arse in the end. They did have that smoke that barely deteriorated at the end. And yeah, the kill managed to get onto Braxy. And yeah, early advantage here from GODZ, but it is Stewin that is starting to push forward, inch forwards, and Killer, he could potentially come head to head here. Oh, you can see him. He's going to start shooting. Has the spray down. Does not connect with Zozo. As he was flashed, but managed to connect with a kill in the end. Hevix from a different front kills one of his own, and Nemanhar now is all by himself. Gets a kill on Too High from a different front yet again. But yeah, kind of a hectic map going all around. There were kills all over the place from all sorts of corners throughout the map. But it's GODZ that managed to connect the kills when they needed to and weren't confused by the push here from Stewin.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Manhurt on the back lines there, able to catch one of the rotations, but this time Kakanito will hit the boost. No one mid though for them to receive it. It looks like Stewin with these pistols are going to set up what little smokes and flashbangs they have towards his A site and try and just go for a bit of a brawl. And get some, maybe a bomb plant, maybe a kill or two. Hevix just backs away. We'll spot one crossing in a moment. As they actually unscopes as they push. An unfortunate peak. He gets tagged down to just 30 points of health and the bomb has been planted. GODZ will give that one up for free. And this is why they've got Killer on the flank. Over at the A ramp, he'll be coming in late. Kakanito's under threat, but he's able to pick up one. His teammate Hevix trying to find shots where he hit that at the back. Hevix has just gone absolutely huge. 3 quick kills come through. Namanha with the AWP though, trying to no-scope. He picks up one. And absolute madness, pandemonium across this A site as Hevix. I mean, I saw him take the shot at the player towards default, but it took me a moment to actually recognize that he hit the shot and then takes a second well onto stairs and just sets everything up perfectly for GODZ there for 9th. And Stewin, they're starting to fall back as we head into the final round of this half.
Yeah, Stewin there just got onto that site fairly quickly, actually. Got the bomb plant for an eco round. Is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But what really surprised me is that they thought that the best defense is offense, and once they had the site, they just decided to push through, trying to surprise the counter-terrorists of GODZ, and didn't really work out for them in the end, but it was quite entertaining to see either way. Now, Smoke's coming onto B. It could be a very deadly push here, but it's a full buy versus full buy. Both of these teams have weapons to work with.
Braxy.
Already kills going in the hands of Stewin. 2-4-3. Isn't ready to get planted, but Too High just gets deleted out of existence. And now Kakanito will be getting noticed there. Oh, nearly connect with the kill there, but it's Braxton that will get that one, and it's 96 at the half.
GODZ, nice spattering of rounds there at the end. I mean, they pick up 5 in a row. And secure themselves a healthy lead going in towards the second half. Stewin will now take the role of the defensive side, while GODZ will try their hand at the attack. And we'll see GODZ. They've got themselves 4 sets of armor. Too High with a smoke, a couple flashbangs. Stewin, he'll have a kit for Zozo, a smoke as well. That's all they have to work with, aside from the utility, aside from the Kevlar, sorry, and the USPs. Is going to be a hit towards his A site. Oggy trying to revenge his teammate's death. Will eventually find the shot in towards Dan. He's taking a lot of damage. Now the teams are pushing closer. Killer's getting dinked about 4 times there. It was his teammate who was doing it. But luckily they're able to mop things up pretty cleanly in the end, as it's only Zozo who remains, and he's dealt with shortly after. 10 on the board for GODZ.
Well, it's a very important first round here from GODZ. They did have a solid CT side. They looked to struggle in the beginning to clear away from Stewin. But in the end, they managed to pick up 3 rounds in a row, and now on the T side, getting that first one. Important if they want to keep the momentum up and finish off this map. It's going to be a solid attempt here from mid, and it's kind of scary to just walk through and just see 5 players on the window just staring at you with pistols. But yeah, that's going to be a first pick in the hands of GODZ, in the hands of Stewin. Excuse me.
Yeah, we'll see if they can convert it, though, because obviously USPs, no armor, not the best of setups to be trying to win a round out with. We'll see, though. I mean, opening kill, weapon can't be salvaged as of yet. So that's still down towards top mid. As Kakanito's working his way in through the ladder room. And Zozo down to 16 towards that B site. There is a stack towards B from Stewin, or, well, 3 players in that position. And look at Nemanha in towards Underground. He might be able to catch another kill here, but no! Danny will come in just to save the day. It's Kakanito trying to push in through short and open up that B site as he's starting to find some kills now. But do they clear out that player on top of the secret box on site? Yes, they will, but only just in time. And, well, it's just players everywhere. Every time they look, there's another player. Eventually, Oggy will get dealt with, but he finds a kill and a couple foul now for Stewin. It will eventually be GODZ winning out the round as this is turning into a calamity.
Yeah, Stewin just trying to be cheeky and hide in corners that GODZ didn't expect. Nearly worked out, but not quite. Didn't get a few shots on the planter 2 times in a row, interrupted that plant, but yeah. With those pistols, not much they could do. A good early pick for them, but hey, yeah, when GODZ have money, they deliver. I guess that's why GODZ are GODZ. They have money. Heavy discussion point, I reckon, at some point, but not now. We've got Counter-Strike on our hands.
Yeah.
All right, full buy once again from both of these teams. Util, there is some in the hands of Stewin. They have used quite a lot early on, and they've got some smokes to work with for the rest of this round. It's just a matter of how fast will GODZ try and go for a push here. They do have a solid mid control. They'll try and pick through Connector as their first choice of contact. Nemanha, perfect position for him to pick up that first kill onto Dan. Now Hevix, different front, tries to push forward, inch his way onto that site. Just go onto Tetris here. Throw some nades, get some rune. Braxton gets 1 for his team. Braxton gets 2. Will he go for the 3rd? No! Draws the pistol out and falls down in the end, and it's high with that AK and a 1 versus 3. 45 seconds remaining. Yep, Braxton picks up the kill there, and it's 11-7 as Stewin pick up another round for themselves. Inching their way forward, catching up with GODZ slowly.
Yeah, finally put themselves on the board in the CT half. We'll see if they can convert a follow-up, though, because obviously GODZ are currently sit 11-7 in the lead after that pistol round victory in the follow-ups. Now, GODZ are left with just a few deagles, a couple AKs for Too High and Dan. But it's the M4 of Nemanha that will be able to find an opener. I thought he got a second there with the jump shot. It's actually from the window. That's secured the kill there. And, well, a 2-man advantage early on. Those 2 AKs still in the fight, though, for GODZ. Along with the Deagle for Kakanito. But I think Stewin probably got this one on lock. 5-on-3. I mean, GODZ, they have a couple flashbangs of smoke to work with. Not really much at all. Unless Kakanito can find this shot. And by golly, by gosh, of course he will. Nemanha gets nailed out by the Deagle of Kakanito there. A headshot angle. But Kakanito will nail the headshot. And then there was 4.
All right, at 50 seconds remaining, they are inching their way onto that A site. Bomb is first. Will be dropped out a little bit. Now flash comes through. That's going to be a kill onto Oggy, but no. Valley is there to interrupt. 2 kills for this man. Gets a double headshot. But now he needs to be careful because it is Dan on this site. He is being closed by so many corners. The bomb. Oh, he could have lined up to kill there, but no. It will get picked up there by Valley. And Stewin start to close the gap.
Yeah, nice shot from Kakanito, though. And Valley with this double. Consolidated around for Stewin. It was looking a bit dicey into that 3-on-3, but Stewin, I do have Valley there, step up and secure themselves an 8 for now. Just against this GODZ pistol buy. I mean, having a bit of a stack towards back of mid, and I mean, maybe just waiting for aggression. Yeah, I'm not sure if it has much strategic purpose.
five pistols are better than 1, I guess. That's the strategy at this point. Someone aggresses, perhaps they could get the kill, 1-for-1 trade, and perhaps pick up a rifle. So I guess they can afford to do that early on in the round, especially if they haven't got any util to gain ground anywhere else on the map. So yeah, waiting for an aggression play, I guess, is There's a decent way to go around this, but no info will be gained from this push onto mid. Oggy isn't looking in time. He's giving them too much room, but we'll pick up that 1 kill, but they're already around connected. The boost does come through. Will this be expected? It doesn't matter. Oggy will pick that one up. No problem for them, but they found themselves through connector, going to that jungle area, but Valley is there to connect one after the other. 2K just like the last time. And Kakanito is surely going to fall here. Yeah, there he goes. And Stewin, 11-9.
Yeah, some clean rounds. Always good to see. And a couple rounds closer. The gods will start feeling a bit more pressure as they'll get themselves that full buy through. We'll see if they can finally get themselves up a little bit further in this game. I mean, 12, their target for now. And Stewin, they're trying to find themselves double digits. Smoke towards the apartments, though. Kakanito can just push through nonetheless. Trying to create a bit of space for his team in this direction, but nades from the CT side will force him back, and he's taking a lot of damage. He's burning! He couldn't find the door! And he goes down, he's masked in smoke for his vision, but his feet, they're still
oh my word, Oggy!
Nailed down 3 towards the palace. How has he done that? It all falls apart for the gods, and it's only Hevix who remains as Stewin. They're going to find 10. And what the hell did I just watch?
They managed to find a needle in the haystack. They sent out a few smokes towards those apartments, and at the same time, they had a molly there, which ended up killing one. And then Oggy 3K on Palace. Oh, that guy, I don't know how he did that. I wish I could have seen it. But Hevix now left all in zone. He had to witness what had to happen to his team there, and he managed to pick one. It's not a complete sweep here from Stewin. And but yeah, from Stewin was like 5 rounds behind. They were 11-7, correct? So that's 4 rounds. Yeah, I can do maths, I swear.
Yes.
And they've managed to pick up 3 rounds in a row now. So yeah,
no, it was 9-6, so 4 in a row.
4 in a row. Yeah, 4 in a row.
Yes.
So they're able to get 4 rounds in a row, so closing up the gap and getting quite a bit of momentum. And for building up a momentum on CT on Mirage, that is very dangerous. Now, flashes do come in. We do look at Valley's perspective here. He can absolutely see nothing. The squads found their way onto the site. A lot of respect given to them there, and while they have pistos, but Valley in another valiant position will get the spray down onto one. Does not connect. The turnaround from Killer is there to help out. But yeah, they got the bomb down. It's a 3 versus 4. Zozo tries to make the AK work. A few bullets left into his magazine. Gets the kills. A 3K for the man. And the moment you thought gods might have made an eco work will fall to the hands of Zozo and Oggy. And a very explosive round here from gods. But it's Stewin to come up on top.
Damage done. Valley had a huge chance for multi-kills. Can only find the first. But it's Zozo mopping things up. Some nice shots with the AK. Secures that one for Stewin as it's all tied up 11-11. Gods will have themselves a full buy now. All put for Kakanito. Vale will have one for himself as well. And just aggression in towards mid, too high towards underground. Namanha, a quick peek will take him down and give the Gods side an early deficit. And Dan taking so much damage as well. It's going to be Kakanito who's able to find one, at least, to trade back. So a 4-on-4. As Kakanito is looking in towards the B site, open hand. Already a kill to his name.
So what have Gods done so far is that they spread out their firepower throughout the map. They've gone in certain greedy positions where Stewin played aggressive and it worked out for them. They managed to do a damage onto Dan and kill off high. And yeah, Gods got a little bit punished there for playing so spread out and not being able to get 2 players together to get a refrag. So yeah, now we found themselves in a 3 versus 3. Oggy makes that kill onto short. He does have a little bit of info. Both players are there, saw them. So it's up to Stewin, the Valley player of Stewin, to make this work. He does have an AWP at hand, so it is a difficult weapon to clutch with. If he plays this correctly, he might actually have a chance. No, I think he's going to save it.
Could find a kill here. We'll
Yes,
find
he
a kill
does.
there. Yeah. Nice little shot. I mean, low HP player doesn't really matter with the AWP. But now GODZ know where he is. They're going to leave the bomb site, try and track him down. But they don't really want to commit all too much here because only 2 players alive. I mean, bomb plant gives them an extra $800 per player. So that certainly helps. But yeah, they don't really want to be throwing these guns away, especially not that AWP for Kakanito.
Yeah. So Stewin do have a lot of money built up, so they'll easily be able to buy up that next one. Well, GODZ, on the other hand, they do want to save those weapons because their economical situation was kind of dire. They do pick up this round, finally. They've lost too many rounds in a row and are able to pick one up. And yeah, they managed to break off the momentum of Stewin, which is really important to do. And the fact that they did it now, it's better than later because getting up to the 14, 15 rounds one is a difficult situation to deal with, but they've done it now, and perhaps with a full buy versus full buy, they'll be able to get another one.
Yeah, just a brief pause before we get back into things here. GODZ, they get themselves that full buy up around the couple saved weapons, the ult for Kakanito will be carried into this one, and 4 AKs around it. Well, Stewin, they have a pretty similar setup, the ult for Oggy, 4 M4s. So, a true full buy battle here as Manha is going to be trying to go aggressive towards the ramp, but taken down very early. Danny's able to find 2, but Vale, close range, can try and mop things up, but only 1 again for him. It's going to be GODZ in the advantage. That is until Zozo swings forward and will deal with the AWP of GODZ. 2v2, the bomb dropped towards the ramp. Too high. Annihilate Zozo towards a connector, but Braxy now left in a 1 versus 1. Tries to go for the shot, but too high. Quick on the trigger, secures the head, secures a 13th for GODZ, and they start to pull their lead back out.
Yeah, and shows us his control of spray patterns right at the end as well as a show-off sign. Yeah, GODZ find another round, 13-11. It is very interesting to see because Stewin play very aggressive in positions that nearly no one ever plays, and sometimes it pays off, but this time it did not. They got a little bit too aggressive with guns they didn't really need to use to go aggressive, and now they find themselves on a deficit. It's SMGs and 2 players of Stewin, and albeit that, they managed to get the first pick here onto Hevix. Oggy with that AWP. Turns out he can be quite huge on it when he has to.
Yeah. Gets the opening frag, that nade as well. I thought it'd do more damage to Kakanito there in mid, but managed to get away with just losing 7 points of HP. And GODZ, they sit in this deficit in terms of the manpower for this round. Stewin. They've got a decent setup here as long as they can control short. They should be able to keep a good grasp on this B site. I mean, Braxy in position towards the ladder room. He's holding off short, but now his teammate on the site under a bit of pressure. Killer trying to force forward to take down Zozo, but he's able to hold the line. And with Braxy going down towards short, now the floodgates open towards his B site, and the players start rotating over. But a kill from A site does catch one of them trying to push from short, so it's only 2 players left for the GODZ. There's too high. He'll secure 1. Kakanito with another. They've managed to bring things into a 2-on-2, and Zozo's left on low HP. He's just got 26 towards the back of site. His teammate Vale will take a little bit of a trimming as well. But Zozo, that is an unbelievable shot. You can't be doing stuff like that. It leaves it up towards too high, and he tries to take the peek around the corner, but Vale's AWP is set up, and Stewin come away with a 12. Zozo
is in a practice range right now with that flick of the wrist. Oh my word, what was that? I want to see it again. Oh, amazing stuff there for the retake here. Well, I mean, they didn't really get bomb planted, but it was a retake because they did lose control of that area. But Zozo just came up huge on that, and it was beautiful. Beautiful. And that means that they will be closing up the gap, 13-12. Things are very close. This game it's absolutely insane how close this is. They're fighting inch for inch. And yeah, mistakes are being made on both sides, but at the same time, plays like that just gives you a perspective of how how hyped these players are feeling right now in this tight game.
Yeah, there may be a little bit of a lull in the festivities, though, for GODZ as they lose that previous round. They're forced into a situation where they're going to have to take the eco, or a bit of a half-buy, rather, as they're only going to get a couple Deagles through, a Mac 10 for Dan. We'll see what they're able to do with this, as they do still retain the lead, but only just 13-12. It's probably going to be Stewin tying this game up 30-13 if... unless GODZ can come out with something absolutely spectacular, but Danny's taking a lot of early damage. As they're just going to run through connector. Killer gets an opening kill. Kakanito with another. This is falling apart for Stewin. Oggy needs to try and find multi-kills, but close range with the AWP. That's not going to work out. He only finds one. And Zozo and Braxy, they're left just thinking, what the hell just happened?
GODZ with an insane push here through mid, get the kills that they need. I'll leave a player behind, and the rotate from window didn't really work out. Gets instantly annihilated with that headshot. And yeah, this bare buy here from GODZ, they make it happen, they make it work, and they'll be able to plant and pick up weapons as well. And GODZ, after that, they're looking to close things out slowly. I mean, you see the economical situation of Stewin right now. It's not looking great. They'll have to eco these two weapons. So, I mean, they don't have a loss bonus being built up either. So GODZ looking very good at this situation, saving 2 rifles, and they ecoed as well, so they have plenty of money to buy up for a couple of rounds following this.
Yeah,
it's going to be very interesting to see.
Fun. Not fun at all for Stewin. And they are going to be stewing in their own disbelief of what just happened.
You just didn't.
Yeah. Pause as well for them to stew a little bit longer, you know.
Yeah. Keep
them rolling. We have some highlights from the half as GODZ. They sit 14-12. As you say, a lot of cash built up for them off the back of that previous round. The half-buy works out wonders. Now Stewin have a mountain to climb. They're only a few rounds behind, a couple rounds behind in fact, but that makes all the difference when it could have been tied up. It could have been them. It could have been them fighting for the lead of this game. Instead, we get into things. Opening kill already found for the GODZ side, but Braxy's able to tie things up. MP9 towards Dark as his team try and force around, but a lot of damage found. Can't quite get the shot on towards Killer. Needs him in a 4-on-3, and the bomb planted towards its A site.
This is the push for match point. They have gotten the bomb planted, and look at Stewin. They've only got an AK and Impa Lumpa in the hands of Valley, and it's going to be a difficult situation for him. Ogi with that first frag, it might be even possible. Hevix picks the corner. No. Wrong timing there from Zozo. Gets 2. Nearly gets the third, but he's blinded. Impa Lumpa doesn't quite do enough damage. Deagle comes out from Hevix, and the man gets a 3K. And GODZ find themselves on match point.
Well, this is falling apart for Stewin. They had it all. They had that half-buy round. It fell apart, and now GODZ have taken that with both hands. And they're sitting themselves on match point, 3 match points to take this one and secure themselves an early dub in this Group A matchup. GODZ, all they have to deal with is 5 more players. Deagles across the board for Stewin. It's going to have to be a miracle.
Things have slowed down. GODZ do realize they do have a good economical advantage at this point. They don't really need to force things too aggressive, too hard. But it looks like they can start pushing towards that A side. 3 players dedicated here, so Deagles connected is going to be vital for them to stay into this game. They're trailing 3 rounds behind, and GODZ are looking to close this out now. They do have a little bit of util left. They could stall this out a bit more. On the other hand, Stewin do have flashes for the repeat, so anything can happen slowly. Easing their way into that A site. Tetris is the first point of contact. Valley is just hiding in position. Killer's the first one to find the frag. Has to fall down to 2 HP for his troubles. Molly comes out, shot connected by Valley, peeks Tetris. Oh, nearly does enough damage, but that Kobe grenade will just finish him off right there. Now Hevix with that spray down does not connect. Braxton is the one to connect. His shot though, oh my word, it's the second kill of the round thrown by a grenade. Now, 2 for 3. He doesn't want to get bomb plant just yet. He doesn't feel comfortable. He doesn't have enough control of the site. Rotate dumps come in. Kakanito will get Oggy. He's trying to push forward, try and gain some ground. That didn't work out for him. Zozo will fall down as well. And GODZ have picked up their first map here. Their first game of this CEE Championship.